All right, welcome back, everybody, to the American LFC show. I am Salim. I'm joined by Coach Ralph today. Coach, interesting result, but got the result.
Liverpool did get the result, but as is so often the case in modern football, VAR and uh, what was it a penalty? I don't know what you thought. I know what I think, but
It, it, you know, I didn't. The, it was like a makeup call almost for Konate's goal. I thought. I mean, yeah, that ball hit Ekatike's arm, but he had no idea it hit his arm. To be fair, Bastoni did have a fistful of jersey and was holding them, but the theatrics that Verts kind of put into it, especially in England, would kind of nullify any potential PK. But who knows what happens in Europe? Regardless, I thought Liverpool did have a good performance, more balanced. They, I think, let one decent opportunity to Martinez on a header in the first half that maybe it was the second half actually that Allison saved. But other than that, I'm glad to get the 3 points, get a little bit of luck to go our way, and get back to Anfield for the game on Saturday. But Coach, we can't start the game and not talk about the controversy over the weekend. And now that we've had some time to digest Mo Salah's comments after the game against Leeds, very targeted. Coach, you've always said he has a bit of an ego, and oh boy, did he show it.
he did, and I mean, there's only one way out for him, and that is a sincere apology. But to be honest, I mean, like, I don't think Mo Salah's a bad person or anything like that. But I think he just feels that he's done so much for Liverpool over the years, and he has. So that means he has the automatic right to be in the team. And yeah, I mean, like, there's been a lot of issues with the team this year. I mean, certainly, if you're looking at the attacking side of the game, Salah hasn't been the force that he was last season and in previous seasons. So what would you put that down to? I mean, obviously he's getting older, but also the fact that there's a lot of new personnel. Maybe he doesn't get the ball in quite the same situations. So that's a factor. I think the other thing that's a big factor when he's on the field is whatever the manager is trying to do, it appears that more is expected of him defensively, and Liverpool have been poor defensively, and he's just not geared to kind of contribute to that. So yeah, he's not worth an automatic place on the team. I'd say that that's definite that he's not allowed an automatic place on the team.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't good. Was it choreographed, as Jamie Carragher said? I think it was to a degree. I think it was. I mean, it's obviously been building over the three games. And I mean, he hasn't looked happy on the side. And I mean, there was the one game when he was covered up so much that you couldn't see whether he was happy or unhappy. So you assume that that's unhappy.
Right.
And so I think he has been advised poorly. And just listening to Radio Merseyside, I'd say 95% of Liverpool fans have not been impressed. That is a polite way to put it. They've not been impressed with the behaviour and what he did. So, your thoughts, Salim?
Well, there's, he seems to think that he's the scapegoat for the form, mentioning he's been thrown under the bus. Somebody wants him out of the club. He's not sure who. The relationship with the manager is completely broken down. There's a lot of things I think he just said just to say because he's annoyed. The him casting doubt of his future here in a public forum like that, saying that he's inviting his parents to come to the Brighton game, and he's just going to enjoy his time at Anfield before he leaves for AFCON. But there was a little pause there, and I think nobody's bigger than the club. Mo Salah is a club legend. It's just a shame that he's kind of wants to take his ball and go home with the way that he responded to father time waits for nobody, and it's gonna, and Mo Salah is no exception. And although he's an exceptional professional, keeps his body in tip-top shape, doesn't drink alcohol. I mean, he's a top professional. But he's lost a step. Trent, I think, not being behind him is a huge loss to him with the chemistry that he had with him, and Trent being able to launch, these incredible long balls to him. And now he's in a team with transition, and he's not the tip of the spear anymore. Ekitike and Isak are the tip of the spear, and there's been games where he's just been completely disinterested in defending, and it's cost the team goals. And he's not lighting it up on the other end. When he gets the ball one-on-one, he's not making people miss. It's a shame, but it is the reality of where we are now. And, I think he kind of drew his line in the sand, but Liverpool did the same with not bringing him to Milan for this game today. And my understanding is that this decision was made by Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, and Arne Slot. So the fact that now he's got 3 people that he has to apologize to, along with a fan base of millions, I don't know how he's going to do that, and I just don't know where we go from here.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, there's a behind the doors apology. But I think the only way out is really a public apology to the fan base. And really, it has to be something along the lines of, I'm prepared to do whatever the manager wants. If he wants to sub me, if he wants to rotate me, if he wants to start me, I will do what Arne Slot requires me to do. Because if he can verbalize that and he can do it sincerely, then that puts him on the same plane as all of the other players, I would say. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure that that's kind of likely. Wouldn't mind being wrong on it, but I'm not sure that that's likely. So, do they put him on the bench for Saturday's game?
I don't think so.
Well, I think if everybody's fit, I think definitely not. And I wouldn't have taken him to Italy, definitely.
Yeah.
He has some time. He has some time to, to try to mend some bridges, perhaps, certainly behind the scenes. But ultimately, for him to stay at the club beyond the African tournament, there's got to be some kind of public statement, really, and not just a statement, but an apology.
Yeah, I don't think he sees the bench. Regardless, I think they're, he's going to the African Cups of Nation, be out of sight, out of mind for a little bit. I think I can't see why they would bring him in for that one, especially after that comment. And I don't know, maybe he does apologize midweek, and everybody kind of hugs and makes up, and but I just can't see it. I can't see it. And
obviously, there are 3 players that didn't travel this weekend. I know that Chiesa is ill.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he'll be better for Saturday. I don't know what the injuries are for Endo and Gakpo, but
Gakpo looks like 2 to 3 weeks as a muscle injury, I believe.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I hadn't seen that. Do you know what the Endo situation is?
I don't.
No. No, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they put him on the bench, but that but that's contingent on something going on behind the scenes that is kind of positive. But what will happen in the longer term? I think whether they sell him in January or the summer, either or, I think that this is his last season.
No doubt.
I think everybody would like to think that there is a little bit of a way out because of what he's contributed over the last decade or so. But without a sincere public apology, I mean, like he could have played his last game. I think that's the truth. And I think that that's the reality of the situation.
Coach, you mentioned somebody in the club wants him out. Michael Edwards is a no-nonsense type of professional. He looks at numbers along with the eye test, but he's very ruthless when it comes to moving. Do you think maybe that him and Richard Hughes are looking at the situation or saying, man, we pay this guy 450,000 pounds a week and he's a shell of what he was last year. We got to get him out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the manager talks to Edwards and Hughes and what have you, but at the end of the day,
Excuse me.
At the end of the day, it has to be the manager has to make the call, and I think he could well have actually pulled the plug on Mo Salah earlier in the season, really, and I think most fans would be in agreement with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, he finally did it. We kind of knew that he wasn't going to be happy about it. I mean, look, all players won't be happy about being dropped or benched. That is normal, as you hear managers say time after time after time. It is.
Yeah.
But it's how the player deals with it and handles it. And I think that we kind of expected him to throw a wobbler, and ultimately he did.
It piles a bunch of pressure on his teammates too, having to answer those questions. I mean, I watched some of the press conferences, and it's the first question asked. It's like sharks smelling blood in the water. When somebody kind of throws a grenade like that, in all sports, really, actually, when somebody just kind of goes off the rails and says something that puts pressure on your own teammates. I mean, I can't imagine how annoyed some of the players are in the dressing room.
Maybe, but maybe in another way, what it's done is, it's made a big deal out of the situation. Like we're getting all these updates and everybody's throwing in their opinions, and so it kind of takes attention away from the fact of that Liverpool maybe aren't getting results or haven't been getting results. So maybe it's helpful from that point of view, because I mean, Inter Milan in San Siro, when things aren't going well, I mean, certainly on paper, that is a tough game. That is a tough game. And I mean, coming back to the game, I thought Liverpool's performance first half was I thought it was a good performance. They didn't create a ton of chances, but they had lots of control.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the first half was a good game. I thought the second half wasn't very good by both teams because they kept giving the ball away.
Yeah.
And actually, just before the penalty, Liverpool did have a little flurry where they started to look dangerous again. And one thing that I kind of liked when Wirtz came into the game, I felt possibly for the first time, or certainly in a while, that the players are starting to look for him.
Yeah.
And get him involved, and get him buzzing around, moving the ball, and all that kind of stuff, which is really what I think Arne Slot would want from him. So whilst I thought Liverpool were fortunate on the penalty, the performance was solid. They were a lot more secure at the back than they were on the weekend against Leeds.
Yeah.
And as I say, San Siro is an intimidating stadium to go and play in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even if it had been a draw, I mean, I'm sure that there would have been disappointment from the fan base to drop points, but yeah, they've come away with all three. And does it mean Liverpool have turned the corner? Yeah, we keep saying that every time they get a better result.
I know.
And I think that we won't know that, till they start putting some kind of a run together. Brighton is a team that they've struggled against at times in past seasons. And Brighton's certainly good on the ball, but Brighton aren't consistent as well. So I would expect an open game on Saturday. And let's see if Liverpool have a little more confidence after going to Italy and coming back with 3 points.
Yeah. Coach, the starting lineup featured both Ekitike and Isak, with McAllister kind of playing in the 10th spot. What did you think of that? That was an interesting lineup. I felt that Isak was too far out wide to be dangerous. What were your thoughts just generally about that kind of front three? It was nice, first of all, just to see them play together, but I felt like they were a little bit too far apart.
Maybe, but I thought Isak in the first half certainly was having trouble just when the ball came to him, controlling it.
Yeah.
So I think that might be a confidence issue as much as anything else. Ekitike looks good. And he's always trying to score. Like he's looking to score all the time, and so it'll be interesting to see what he does against Brighton, whether he will continue with the two strikers and maybe pull one of the midfielders. I thought Gravenberg had a much better game today.
Yeah.
I thought that Szoboszlai as always did well. I thought that McAllister was better than he's been of late. Jones did well. I mean, I'd be tempted maybe to play Wirtz over McAllister.
Yeah.
And purely for rotational reasons. I thought Gomez did well. I thought Bradley did well when he came on. But he can't play at the weekend because he's suspended. So I think Gomez is going to start. And I thought Robertson did well. But I would expect him to play Kerkez because that's pretty much what he's been doing.
Yeah.
I mean, Kerkez has looked a little bit better.
I think he's starting to stabilize for sure.
Starting to stabilize, but we haven't really seen his attacking side, which was maybe why we might have got excited when we signed him. And we thought he was an Andy Robertson type of clone. So he's looking a little more solid. And actually, one thing that I've picked up in games is Gakpo's not willing to give him the ball much. When he gets in attacking position.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, go ahead.
Because he invariably comes inside as Salah has always done on the other wing and as Mane used to do, and then the fullbacks would push up on the outside. So there's been a number of occasions. I mean, whilst Kirk has sometimes struggled to get forward and has maybe made too many underlapping runs, when he gets up on the outside, I've kind of sensed Gakpo doesn't always want to give him the ball. So I expect him to play against Brighton, and whoever he plays on the left, whether he uses Wirtz, whether he uses Ekitike, let's see if Kerkez can get up and overlap because Andy Robertson still continues to get forward into good positions.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. He overhit some crosses today, but he also hit a couple of crackers as well. So I'd like to see that side of Kirkus's game because I think it'll give him confidence.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I think he hasn't had the platform to showcase what he can do because he's not getting the ball from Gakpo at all. Yeah, good point, Coach. Coach, the partnership between Ekitike and Wirtz is looking kind of nice. It's starting to gel a little bit. I can see it down the road, a month, a year, 2 years, being a really strong partnership.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, like they're both very good players. They have a nice range of tricks and flicks and what have you. You know, a little bit of creativity. So yeah. I mean, I think that if they can settle and the team generally builds more confidence as a unit, then I think that'll be reflected in players like those two, and then maybe we start to see them flourish a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, look, Liverpool don't lack players. That is the one thing that they don't lack. I think it's coming down to how the manager plays his pieces as well as chess pieces. You know how he lines them up, what he asks them to do. I thought the pressing was a little bit better today.
Yeah.
So it's still early in the season. I'm still hearing one or two people that think Liverpool can win the league, and I don't quite understand that call, but they are only 3 points off fourth place. So there's a lot of football to be played, and I think it's up to the team. You know, like the players are there. I think the manager, he has to be. He certainly persisted with Konate. And he was better today. But you can rest assured that he'll be targeted on Sunday by Brighton. So I'm sure they'll have Welbeck up against him, and let's see how he holds up against Danny Welbeck because he's been playing well of late.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no real replacement. However, you could get creative, and
Oh, I think they could play Gomez.
No, I agree with that. But I guess he's playing through pain. There's something going on with him that he's playing with pain, that he's getting injections or something like that.
Who's this, Gomez?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's not unusual for players to be getting injections and everything. I mean, like that's been part of the game forever and a day.
Yeah.
But he's certainly not going to play Gomez over Konate against Brighton because Bradley's absent. So
right.
So I think that the back four will be Gomez, Konate, Van Dijk, and I think he'll bring back Kirkes, even though Robertson did well tonight.
Yeah. Well, Coach, a 1-0 win, Champions League. I believe they said that we're in 8th place now, and in the Champions League, we're 10th in the Premier League. But like you stated, there's a lot of teams kind of bunched up there for 4th place. The difference between 4th and 10th is literally 3 points. So there's there's hope and to get into that Champions League spot. But let's hope that even though the draws were disappointing at Leeds and playing Nottingham Forest,
Sunderland. The Sunderland game was a draw.
Sorry, Sunderland. And then there was a game before that they won before Nottingham Forest, right?
West Ham, yeah.
West Ham, right. So we've gone win, draw, win.
Yeah,
maybe we are turning the corner. I don't know.
Yeah. You have to say that at least they're not losing now. So it's not as bad as it was, but I think there's a lot of room for improvement. I think everyone can agree on that.
No doubt about it. Well, Coach, thanks as always for your insight. Folks, thank you so much for watching on YouTube, the American LFC Show. Please go ahead and drop comments about what your thoughts are about the Mo Salah situation, about what your thoughts are about the victory against Inter in the Champions League, and have we turned a corner? We'd love to know your thoughts. We're also up on Facebook So we'd love to hear your thoughts there too. Take care, everybody. Appreciate you.